Hi, my math friends. This is Mrs. Schlecht. And in this video, we're going to talk about rates, ratios, and unit rates. So just like always, my friends, you know that there's a few materials you're going to need in order to be successful for this activity, right? First, you're going to need that Envision textbook. That's that one with that little robot on the front. Second, you're going to need your math notebook to take that great notes so you can show your learning. Third, you're going to need a pencil. And fourth, you're going to need that positive math attitude because you can do this. You can do great things. All right. So again, for this lesson, there's three different vocabulary words, three different concepts that we're kind of working around here. Now, this should be review, but Mrs. Schlecht is just going to go over it lickety split just to kind of help us out. Okay. We have ratios, a rate, and then a unit rate. Let's start over with a ratio. So a ratio is when I can compare two different numbers, right? Two different quantities of something. So for example, if I were to say that I ate 5 Pop-Tarts for breakfast, but Mr. Schlecht only ate 7 Pop-Tarts for breakfast, I could write that as a ratio comparing 5 Pop-Tarts to 7 Pop-Tarts. All right, so remember, you can write that relationship about my Pop-Tarts, right? A couple different ways. I can do 5 Pop-Tarts to 7 Pop-Tarts, right? That's that ratio that's comparing the amount of Pop-Tarts that I ate versus the amount of Pop-Tarts that Mr. Schlecht ate. Or you can also write it as a fraction, right? We're just comparing the quantity of the same thing, right? We're talking about Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts here, Pop-Tarts there. Same unit, all right? The rate, though, it's similar. We're still comparing stuff, but now we're going to be comparing two separate things. So over here, I was comparing Pop-Tarts to Pop-Tarts. Over here, I'm going to compare Pop-Tarts to how long it takes me to eat a Pop-Tart. So let's say that Mrs. Schlecht eats those 5 Pop-Tarts in 5 minutes because I'm really hungry and I love Pop-Tarts. All right, so I did just kind of add a little bit of a note over here. For your ratio, my friends, you have that same unit, the same idea that you're comparing, right? Pop-Tarts to Pop-Tarts. Over here for a rate, I have different units that I'm using. Not only am I using my Pop-Tarts because they're delicious and everybody loves Pop-Tarts, but now I'm comparing it to the time that it took me to eat those said Pop-Tarts, correct? So, my friends, if we think about it, we have the thing, and then time, right? So we're comparing two different quantities, two different things, right? Something I can count and then a time factor, okay? So again, ratio, same thing that you're comparing. Over here, you're comparing different units of something, right? Now let's take a peek at unit rate. So in case you didn't notice, but the word rate is also in the word unit rate, correct? And that's because they're related. The big difference between a regular old rate and then a unit rate is that a unit rate has 1 as a denominator or 1 in the bottom here, right? I was talking to Mr. Detweiler and he was like giving me some knowledge and he said something so brilliant that I was like, oh, I gotta share this with my friends. He said that a unit rate is how we are actually going to talk into a sentence. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so I took my same rate, okay? This was 5 Pop-Tarts in 5 minutes, and I was able to at least write that out as kind of like a little bit of a sentence, sorta, right? We have 5 Pop-Tarts in 5 minutes. But the unit rate, my friend, I wanna know, well, how much do I eat in 1 minute? In 1 minute, how many Pop-Tarts can Mrs. Schlecht eat? Look at the relationship here. I have 5 Pop-Tarts and then 5 minutes. Think to yourself, how can you get from 5 minutes to 1 minute? Well, you divide by 5, right? So what's 5 divided by 5? 1. So that means that Mrs. Schlecht can eat 1 Pop-Tart in 1 minute. So my friends, all of this information is somewhat related, right? We started with how many Pop-Tarts Mrs. Schlecht and Mr. Schlecht are eating. And then we focused on, okay, Mrs. Schlecht, how fast can you eat a Pop-Tart? And then we were able to break it down to how fast can I eat 1 Pop-Tart, all right? So again, we're gonna keep moving on in this lesson, but I just wanna make sure that we're able to get the difference between ratio, a rate, and then a unit rate, okay? Remember that rate and unit rate, they're pretty similar. They're kind of buds, right? But we're trying to get in our unit rate down to 1 as our denominator. Let's take a peek at some examples in your book. All right, my friends, so before we start checking out some problems in the book, I just wanted to remind you that the key concepts page, which of course is one of Mrs. Schlecht's most favoriteest pages, is actually on page 92 for this lesson, all right? So key concepts, page 92. But we're going to take a peek at page 94 because I want to look at number 13 with you. So, my friends, when we're looking at number 13, the story behind it is that we have a middle school, probably not as cool as like Ridgetop Middle School, of course, but we have some middle school and they're doing a fundraiser, right? So they're selling these really cute, precious little baby stuffed tigers in order to raise money, right? We know that they're going to sell these tigers for $5 a piece. That information we'll use later. We don't really need to use that quite yet for this first part, okay? But what I did was I took the picture, and you know that Mrs. Schlecht, not an artist, right? So I just transferred the information that I got from those pictures into these phrases. And then also in black next to it, I wrote it as a ratio. I know it's kind of tiny, but we're going to keep working on it and it'll get bigger, okay? So in company A, I can get 12 tigers for $33.24. For company B, I can get 16 tigers for $44.80. And then for company C, I can get 15 tigers for $41.10. Now remember, I wrote it over here with a little happy face. These are rates, correct? They're not ratios. They're not ratios because I am not comparing tigers to tigers, correct? I am comparing one unit, tigers, to another unit, money, right? We're comparing two different types of things. Therefore, it's a rate, not a ratio, correct? All right. So the very first question, or the very first part for number 13, asks us, which one of these companies is going to be the cheapest, okay? Which one of these can I get the most bang for my buck? So let's start with company A. We'll do company B, and then we'll do company C. And how we're going to do this, my friends, is we're first going to write the rate, and then we're going to try to find the unit rate so that we're able to see how much I can save by choosing whichever one is the cheapest. All right, so for this first part, again, my friends, I have a rate right here. I know that it's going to cost me $33.24 in order to get 12 tigers. But the thing I'm trying to figure out now, my friend, is how much does one tiger cost? Like, what if I don't want 12? What if I just want one little tiger? How much does that cost? So I want you to think about this. Remember when we were looking for like common denominators, greatest common multiple, things like that? We were trying to find that pattern, right? How can I get from 12 to 1? Well, think division, right? If I do 12 divided by 12, that's going to get me 1. But we know, my friends, whatever I do to one portion of my rate, I need to do for the top as well, correct? So just like I divided the number of tigers by 12 in order to find out how much one tiger costs, I am also going to have to divide $33.24 by 12 to find out how much each individual little tiger cost. Right, just like a quick note, my friend. So I know sometimes dividing decimals, dividing whole numbers and all that gets like super scary. So this is the information Mrs. Schlecht's about to tell you. If you need to use a tool like a calculator or something to help you with the division part, I'm kind of okay with that because I really want to make sure that you understand how we move from a ratio to a rate to a unit rate, okay? Yes, division, multiplication, yes, those things are still real good things that you should know and you should be able to do. However, that is not what I am trying to teach you right now. That should not be the sticking point. All right. So if you need a little assistance to be able to do these calculations, that's okay. Please reach out and use those resources. But again, what I am most concerned with is that you understand what is happening. You're understanding why we are dividing it by what we're dividing it by. All right. So when we solved this regular old rate, and I wanted to put it as a unit rate, correct? We wanted to see, well, how much does one tiger cost? I did $33.24 divided by 12, and that told me that each tiger from company A is going to cost me $2.77. So now let's keep looking at our other two companies. For company B, it's 16 tigers for $44.80. All right, so here is the starting point of our unit fraction, my friends. Super exciting. Again, our original rate was $44.80, and that was for 16 tigers. But now, my friends, I want to know, well, how much do I want for just one tiger? And we know that in order to get from 16 to 1, I needed to divide by 16. So whatever I do to the bottom, I got to do to the top as well. So now let's think, what's $44.80 divided by 16? And that will give you the cost for one tiger. All right, my friends, so we just learned that company B sells one tiger for $2.80, all right? Remember, we're taking these regular old rates and we're trying to make them a unit rate, which means that we're trying to find out how much one tiger costs at a time, right? Okay, last one, let's look at company C. This is 15 tigers for $41.10. All right, so for company C, we're going to use this unit rate, correct? So we start out with $41.10 for 15 tigers. Mrs. Schlecht wants to divide that by 15 so I can find out how much it costs for just one tiger. So I'm going to take $41.10 and also divide that by 15 because remember, my friends, whatever I do to the bottom, got to do that at the top as well. Got to keep it equal, got to keep it fair. All right, and when we do that math, my friends, we find that one tiger from company C costs $2.74. So company A, 12 tigers for $33.24, or one tiger for $2.77. And for company B, we have 16 tigers for $44.80, or our unit rate, we can think about it as one tiger for $2.80. Then finally, company C, I'd be able to get 15 tigers for $41.10, or one tiger for $2.74. All right, you guys have done an awesome job. So we took the regular rate that it gave us, and then we were able to figure out what that unit rate would be, right? How much it would cost for one tiger. So if we look at problem number 13, it's asking us, well, which one's going to be cheaper? Which one is going to give me a tiger for the least amount of money, right? You guys know about money. Let's think, which one's the better deal? $1, one tiger for $2.77, one tiger for $2.80, or one tiger for $2.74. Well, I don't know about you, but this is the cheapest, right? This is the lowest amount of money I am going to need to pay in order to get a tiger. Okay, so number 13 asks, which company has the cheapest tiger? Which one's going to give me the most bang for my buck? Right here, company C, right? Because $2.74, that's the lowest amount. It's smaller than this amount and smaller than this amount. Therefore, that's the cheapest one. All right, my friends. So for part A of number 13, it was just asking you to identify which one would be the cheapest tiger. All right. Now, remember that first piece that was in that question, and it told us that we're going to be charging $5 for each of these tigers. Well, my friends, part B for number 13, we're going to need some of that information. What part B is asking is, how much profit or how much money am I going to make? So again, I have to pay $2.74 for each of these tigers. But then when I send you this tiger, you're giving me $5. And the question is asking, well, how much money am I actually earning? So this is just a simple subtraction problem. All right, my friends. So simple subtraction. Ooh, love it when it's easy. $5, that's how much I'm going to ask you to pay me to get one of these fabulous tigers. $2.74, that's how much I had to pay to even get these cool tigers. And now I'm just going to subtract because I want to know how much money am I making after I actually sell each of these tigers. All right, friends, so I did my subtraction, subtracting decimals. If you need help subtracting decimals, let me know. We can kind of work through that. But my profit is going to be $2.26. That is money in Mrs. Schlecht's pocket. All right, my friends. So that was just a quick run through for lesson 2-1, which again goes over ratios, rates, and unit rates. If you have any more questions, please let me know.